Hello, I'm Jay from the GameBustersUK and welcome to my Super Dragon Ball Z review. Now, Super Dragon Ball Z was first released for the arcade in Japan, as you can see here, but then they decided to create a console version for the PlayStation 2, which basically has similar properties as the arcade, but also have many new added features for players now want to play on the PlayStation 2. Now if we have a look at the menu here, got the main menu, this is the original, where you fight to sell, dragon summoning, make wishes, Z Survivor, which is challenges, typical verses, and we've got customize, and we've got training, and of course options. Now we're gonna go and do the Dragon main original at the moment. The first thing we're gonna review. One where we fight all the way up to Cell. You've got a number of characters from the Cell saga, you know, Goku, Gohan, Krillin, Trunks, Piccolo. Besides Chi-Chi and Buu, any other characters are unlockable characters that you can wish from Shenron, who's collecting Dragon Balls. But it's just got your typical characters, really. And you start off, you choose a random stage and a random opponent with a little loading screen. And the whole idea is for you to basically beat the opponent, I guess Street Fighter kind of style. The controls are a bit iffy at times, but just like in most other games, you can pretty much pick them up over time, so it's not too much bother. There's certain moves and certain rushes, such as Gohan's Masenko, many grabs and many techniques you can do to throw and pummel your opponent. If it's a game you like to pummel and beat up and bash about, this is good. Now this can be sometimes good for a button basher, and you can do many powerful techniques. Above all, you've got a load of variety of different stages that give you a good overview of the area that you're about to fight in. Some of them are commonly known from the Dragon Ball series, such as Kami's Lookout, Planet Namek, City Ruins, as we all know it. You've also got day and night and in evening time, so they can vary change. And of course, got the World Tournament and little animations such as the presenter in the background, which is quite nice. Now, there's lots of different fights that you can choose from, but in the end, we'll always end up fighting Cell to get to the end. Some characters are harder as you progress. There's many techniques, such as our favourite techniques, the Kamehameha. We also got, of course, Vegeta's Gallic Gun. And let's not forget Krillin's Destructo Disc. Very effective. We've also got the Super Saiyan transformations from the game, which makes your player a lot stronger for a temporary amount of time. But of course you need enough ki power in order to actually transform. If you do not, then you can't. You build this up by pummeling your opponent. Once you do defeat your opponent, you get experience points and BP points, a bit like your power level. Then at the end of the arcade, you automatically collect Dragon Ball. Very useful. When you do get to the end, of course you fight Cell in the Cell Ring. This is followed by a nice animation of Cell destroying some tanks, showing off his power. Once this has happened, your player will appear behind Cell, ready to face him and defeat him. And when you do defeat him, you get the final Dragon Ball, and followed by an epic ending of Perfect Cell self-destructing while the player leaves. I guess it's a bit like Imperfect Cell, but instead they didn't want to just put him in for this. So yeah. Although, looking at it now, this explosion that Cell's about to do kind of looked like it would really destroy the Earth. So why is he flying away? And then of course we're followed by our typical lovely credits. And that's pretty much it for our original. Alright, we're now going to move on to Dragon Summoning. where we use to collect all our Dragon Balls, and we make our wish to Shenron. Now we choose a character we've collected Dragon Balls from, such as Trunks here, Future Trunks. Once we've made our decision, we can now call out Shenron, which will choose us with so many wishes, but we cannot choose many wishes at a time. Like on the original series, we can only choose one wish per time. And of course, they're chosen, you know, we can't just wish for anything. They're obviously selected, so we've got the things such as wishes granted, which tend to be things like power-up moves to increase strength, increase speed, increase your action gauge. You can also do things like, this is where you get your new colours, so when you want to get new colours and new armors and new outfits, I should say. Here is where you buy new places such as King Kai's World, which is unlockable. You can get different narrators, and this is where you wish for secret characters such as King Piccolo, as our wish here. After so, Shenron will fly away, just like on the series. And the Dragon Balls will scatter. Simple as that. The Dragon Balls can be collected in Seed Survivor as well. Now we move on to Seed Survivor. Now, the difference between Seed Survivor is that on the original you can actually choose normal player. On here, this is where you have to choose the custom player that you've made using the customized system, which I'll explain later. I'll be choosing Ultimate Gohan for now. And by the way, even though when you unlocked Ultimate Gohan, does he wear that outfit? Yeah, only once, but doesn't he break the Z-Sword? Yeah, isn't that a bit strange? They've kind of shown him in the way, I suppose, as if, what if? What if Gohan, what if the sword didn't break? What if it was strong and sturdy and he never randomly changed his outfit to its typical turtle hermit outfit? Not only that, Ultimate Gohan has two swords. I don't know what the other sword is. It kind of looks like a wooden sword. I'm not quite sure why he has two swords. You can switch between these swords, and of course the Z-Sword is stronger. So I'm always switching. What a strange occurrence of events. But let's get back to the challenge. The whole point of this is you fight through the World Tournament fighting a number of players. As you go through, the players will get harder and harder. Not only that, you don't recover your full health automatically. You have to choose it using the special system. If you don't choose it, you may choose something else, such as a Dragon Ball, an attack power-up, defense power-up, BP, or attack. If you're on lower health, of course, you want to be trying to choose health upgrade, although sometimes it can be from really low, such as 20%, and sometimes it can be the max, such as 100%. Here I have gained a Dragon Ball for this stage. Now it doesn't really matter what custom card you use, you can choose whoever you like, as long as you've created a custom card, and fight your way all the way to the top. When you do fight harder opponents, such as Vegeta, in this stage, and then you find out that you do actually lose, that is the bitter end, I'm afraid. But it doesn't mean it can stop you. You can carry on playing this as many times as you like. I think the only problem with this game is that after a while you'll get bored of playing the same challenge over and over again. Especially when you do complete it. It'll become too easy. And then you'll probably get bored of wasting time, and probably the only thing you do is practice or increase your BP. Of course, when you do lose, that is over. But it does show you your progress. You may lose BP. It basically shows you how far you were from the goal. Terrible. And that is, I'm afraid, in a nutshell. Now we're going to move on to customize. Now this is where we create all the cards where we can start learning techniques, increasing our BP and increasing our experience points. Of course, you can choose any character from the list you have. Create a new name for your character, name it whoever you like. And then once you've created your character, you can start leveling him up. As you fight through your opponent, your experience goes up. When you get enough experience, you can train for a new skill and you get a skill up. This is when you can choose from a numerous amount of options, or should I say minimal options, from upgrades to new techniques. And you can also of course change colour, which every character has a default too, but you can also wish from the dragon for more colours and alternative outfits. Now you can see here we've got Goku's normal outfit. There's also, you can unlock the Yadrin outfit, which can also unlock a new colour for that, and many others. I've already learned a fair few amount of skills already pre-chosen from my previous. When you go on available skills, it shows you the current skills that you have, such as Spirit Bomb, Instant Transmission, commonly named moves, and some others are just general upgrades. And you can also learn your opponents if you wish from Shenron. We've also got the chart bar, which you can see how far you've gone through and the way you change it. If you use the dragon, you can actually wish to start all over again, and you can train a different way, learn different moves to whatever you're liking. And of course have fun changing your outfits, such as the classic Vegeta Scouter from the Saiyan saga. I think that looks much better, don't you? I do anyway. And that is basically it for custom. Now we move on to versus. Versus is typical versus in your opponent. If you like Tekken or any of those sort of games, choose from you to your opponent, and you can fight through anyone you like. This is where you can actually fight anyone, because in normal challenges, they normally only choose preset characters. On certain stages, such as Kami's Lookout, you can knock your opponents into different scenes and knock them into a different part of the level, like an underground level. It's also the same here. You can knock him down, get into a lower part of the level, and the cool thing about this one is that you can actually knock him back up, and you can do this as many times as you like, which is a cool feature. Not only that, we've got the dragon finishes, which you can wish from Shenron once you've defeated Cell in the original, and you do not lose once. All I can say is for these dragon finishes is sit back and relax, such as Goku's Super Spirit Bomb, he uses on Kid Buu. Unfortunately Kid Buu is not in the game. And of course we've got the typical comic strips, I'm sure you know. You'll see many of that while playing through the game. And of course you've got typical ones such as Super Saiyan 2 Gohan versus Cell. My favourite is the father-son Kamehameha. Now there's only a certain few that can actually have a finisher, such as Frieza and Cell also have their dragon finisher. Unfortunately I would have liked more finishes, but hey, I'm not creator of this game, am I? Enjoy what we've got here. Using finishers such as Gohan, you can blast your opponent straight into the moon and destroy it. How crazy is that? That's almost like an over-the-top explosion, I guess. It's one way to win, I suppose. And then of course, many DBs have found will remember Vegeta, Super Vegeta, and use Final Flash on Cell. Now this is slightly different to the typical Kamehameha with Cell and Gohan, very similar. This one's slightly different. The opponent doesn't do anything to stop it, as the other one. And instead of hitting the moon, it just flies out of Earth and randomly almost hits a machine. Of course the voices are Japanese. In the American though, I believe they are English, but they are dubbed just for the dragon finisher scenes, I'm afraid. So if you don't like Japanese voices, don't get the English version. I guess the only exception for all the different explosions, because once you've seen them all, is Vegeta's final explosion. It's slightly different in the fact that it has an extra explosion at the end of the original explosion. Of course, it's got the typical scenes from the series. But hey, gotta love the scenes. Once Vegeta does use the final explosion, there's a small explosion that comes out of the earth, and all you see is Majin Vegeta falling to his death. Thanks for watching my review. I'm Jay from the GameBustersUK. Hope you enjoyed that.